The U.S. government has officially shut down, and there's about a 45% rate, guesstimate, that it will not be reopening in the next the next 2 weeks. That's from Polymarket, which is pretty interesting stuff, right? My power went out today. I got to leave early to do something for my kids' school. And today's just been hectic because the crypto markets are reacting in a positive manner. So let's go ahead. Let's get through it and all of the things. So the U.S. government has shut down. And because Bitcoin is one of those assets that is a hedge against inflation, we saw numbers start to go up, which is good, right? Same with altcoins. We also saw that happen as well. And we're going to go ahead and cover what this means for what the government shutdown could mean for crypto, because you have to remember we have all of these crypto regulations that are pending. And without the government fully functioning, all the public servants, the SEC, the CFTC, the whoever gets paid by the government, those entities are semi-shut down. They're operating. They're not going to be operating at full capacity. And yes, this one can last quite some time, considering what's at stake, which we're not going to talk too terribly much about. But the last government shutdown that Trump was involved in, and just the last one in American history, was 2018 to 2019. I want to say it was 35 days. So let's go ahead and cover and see what's going on. I'm not claiming any packets. I don't know what these things are. I'm not claiming any packets. Anyways, let's get into it. So, U.S. government shuts down after midnight as Congress fails to pass funding bills. The funding bills that they're talking about, well, actually, some of the key statements over here is they need to come to their senses here and do the right thing. Republican says that House Speaker Mike Johnson blasted Dems for holding out against passing stopgap funding bill that would avoid shutdown. Jeffries, in his own interview, said Republicans, if the government shuts down, it's their decision to do so. So there's a lot of bickering back and forth about kind of what's happening. And I believe a lot of it does have to do with the ACA, which I am 100% against the ACA in like 99.9% cases, because I worked in healthcare when it took a little bit before it took effect and then after it took effect. And I just saw what it did to my clients and wasn't happy with that. But anyways, again, this is the first shutdown since 2018. Trump supports the shutdown, and 750,000 federal workers may be furloughed daily, which could cost about $400 million per day. That I'm not exactly sure how that works, because what's going to end up happening is that they're going to go ahead and get their money when the government opens back up, etc. But I don't know how I guess it could cost $400 million per day, depending on what type of services they are. Both parties blame each other. No compromises reached on healthcare funding. Dems deny claims about funding healthcare for Dems wants ACA tax credit extended. Republicans reject the demand. And the ACA tax credits are government subsidies that help lower income individuals and families pay for health purchase through the affordable healthcare marketplace. I actually get my healthcare through the marketplace, and it is through the roof. My healthcare I get is absolutely terrible. And I also was on Medi-Cal Medicaid when I quit my job with my baby, because I needed to go to school, whatever. It was only for about a year until my daughter's dad's business they started making money. And so I can kind of attest to both ends of the spectrum and whatnot. But I don't like the ACA in any way, shape, or form. So I know some people might get mad at me, but as a former healthcare worker, I can't. So more information about the shutdown, and we'll get to crypto in a second. So according to a lot of different sources, people are saying short-term volatility is likely, which we have seen with the markets. The S&P has risen in every shutdown since 1995, the best year for gold since 1979, and dollar down 10% in 2025, with the worst performance since 1973. Falling dollar could raise inflation. Inflation is already high. Okay, this is the thing. When they start to talk about inflation and all the cuckoo-ness happening, inflation's not... We can make it transitory all we want, but the cost of goods and services are never going to go down. That's just, it is what it is, unfortunately. So just a bunch of malarkey they like to feed. In addition, Silver posted its higher quarterly close in history. And of course, Polymarket does anticipate the government shutdown to last more than 45%, or 45% of people anticipate the government shutdown to last more than 2 weeks. I imagine this might be the case, which is unfortunate. But as far as the market's going, how's this impacting the market? Well, currently right now, the market was up earlier and now it's down a little bit on the daily. Well, this is the hour. Taking a look at the daily's looking okay. We have really decent gains across the board. Now, when we do take a look at Bitcoin, well, we can take a look at SPX and kind of see what's going on with the stock market and whatnot. I'm just personally irritated. We broke all-time high again on SPX, 6,700. Bitcoin dominance has fallen just a smidge. Gold also broke all-time high again today, which we're seeing so far that this is good for the market, the shutdown. This is good for the market because gold is pumping, the stock market is pumping, and Bitcoin also hit a high of about 118,000. Really, for Bitcoin, we do need to break above $120,000 here. So it's looking like things are good for the market. Ethereum is up to about 4,300. Solana, Green Day, 219, XRP, 294, Chainlink, 2242. ADA is up as well. We've got some Cardano news. And if I don't have enough time to do it for you today, on this show, come back at 2 p.m. PT. I'm going to do a little dedicated about that for you guys because really, really cool partnership that they have. And again, Cardano just did I like midnight in general, and I like what they did. Hedera is up as well, is at 22 cents. So everything is up. We're pumping because of the shutdown. However, this might not sustain. Why? Well, because there's a lot of uncertainty happening. A lot of uncertainty. But on this show, I really wanted to focus with a lot of the crypto legislation that we need to get put through. Because remember, we have the Genius Act. So we've got the Genius Act. That's there. That's about stablecoins. For the most part, though, with stablecoins, the banks are fighting against the yield on stablecoins. Which, of course, because they want you to be forced to use the bank. Well, the reason why we don't want to use banks, number one, we don't get a whole lot of yield. And number two, they take our money and they spend it like cuckoo people. So we want to be able to use crypto exchanges and earn that yield safely. So that's kind of what's happening. I've got another video for you guys coming out on that. I want to say Friday. But as far as the Clarity Act, that's really guidelines as to what can happen with crypto, and we need that push through. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get that done. Good morning to everyone. Let me give you guys quick shout outs. I got a short stream today because I got to take my baby lunch. Good morning to Iron Lux Trader. Thank you so much for being here. Mr. R, Mr. Gamer. Who else? And of course, Mr. Lawrence with his little wrench, his cute little wrench. And yeah, the market is unpredictable. It is. And also too, I'm so upset. I should have said this the first thing, but it is officially Q4 of 2025. Q4 of 2025, October 1st. So today's actually a good day. I don't need to be crabby, okay? Don't need to be crabby at all. And good morning to Mr. D. So we're officially in Q4 of 2025. This is supposed to be the big time of the cycle, primarily because we got our interest rates lowered. We have the SEC that changed the guidelines for the ETFs. They kind of are streamlining things. So we're going to get a bunch of crypto spot ETFs approved. And now the government shut down. So now we're not going to get the Clarity Act for a while, or we could get it, but it's going to take a lot longer. So our plans may have been a little, our plans may be a little bit, I can't even think. I'm so irritated because power went out and because of this stupid shutdown. But our crypto bull market plans may get pushed aside for a little bit, because if we don't really get clarity with a lot of this regulation, we're not going to get stuff that gets done. Sorry, guys. I'm like all over the place right now. I know. I'm just irritated because the government shutdown is dumb. And in addition to that, it's just like we still have to pay taxes, which sucks, right? But yeah, this will definitely impact the market. So we might not go parabolic as crazy as possible. Again, it's going to take regulators a lot longer to get things approved. The SEC is on a limited schedule. Where is it? Hold on. Where is it? Where's my thing? Okay. For some reason, I don't have what I need. Oh, here is it. Is it here? Yes. This is from the SEC. And this is very, very important because this is where all the crypto regulation goes. So due to lapse in appropriations, the SEC is currently operating in accordance with the agency's full plan for operating during government shutdown. Effective October 1st, 2025, until further notice, the agency will have a very limited number of staff members available. The SEC staff available to respond to emergency situations with a focus on market integrity and investor protections. So what's happening right now is that there's very, 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 very few staff members. So if we get we're probably not going to get any positive legislation or an update on the Clarity Act, et cetera, during this time right now. Okay. Also, it says only essential staff is available, focused on emergency situations, market integrity, investor protections. Systems like EDGAR will continue to operate, which is an electronic system for companies to file financial reports and disclosures, which at very minimum, they should have that. I mean, come on, technology. Also, $70 billion was added to the crypto markets in under 30 minutes. Now, I do want to cover this. This is a Ripple story. I'll do a little bit of altcoin news for you guys, okay? A little bit of altcoin news. So, the SEC has issued a no-action letter saying that investment advisors can use state-chartered trust companies as qualified custodians for crypto assets. And this was posted yesterday, not today, and this is good. So, it clarifies which qualifies as a bank under the Investment Advisors Act and Investment Company of 1940. Ripple and Coinbase are now eligible to serve as qualified crypto custodians. Custodians must meet strict requirements. This is actually an amazing story because Ripple is eventually going to become a bank, in my personal opinion. They're going to be doing really, really big stuff in banking. And the reason why, like when everybody was upset about the whole Swift not picking XRPL or whatnot for their chain, that's the reason why I wasn't worried about it, is because rlusd runs on XRPL and and Ethereum. And Ripple's got the Hidden Road acquisition. They filed for different types of banking licenses, etc. So I think Ripple's just going to become its own bank and its own financial entity and take Swift on straight from the hip. Now let's talk about this little bit of a story over here. This is from Mr. John McDonald, the CEO of Standard Custody. And he says, and this is about the August rlusd monthly independent attestation is now live. So it's basically like a little report from Deloitte and Touche LLP. And its independent assertion is a third-party review, but often by an audit firm that verifies accuracy and reliability of financial or operational information provided by a firm. So basically, they're just kind of saying, they're giving a report on rlusd, what's going on with it, that it's listed on Bybit. rlusd is now a key stablecoin off-ramp for BlackRock, BIDL, and Van Eck for the VBIL tokenized fund holders. DBS, Franklin Templeton Ripple, partnered to enable the first ever repo trade for tokenized money market with rlusd. rlusd is available in Africa and many, many other things. So why am we talking about crypto stuff right now? Well, it's kind of important to still know what's going on with the market. Touche. So this is good. This is good stuff. And they're verifying that all the claims that Ripple says are true. And this is why I'm not worried about Ripple. Swift can do whatever it is. rlusd has almost no market share. Yeah, I know it's kind of newer. It's newer. And you have to remember that Ripple got beat up by the SEC for so long. So there's that. Now let's get into another really big story over here. So Bank Social and the Hashgraph Group facilitate the first international transfer of private liquidity token to U.S. credit union. This is big, and it also encompasses Ripple and Solana. I'm excited about this. So, Bank Social and Hashgraph Group completed the first international transfer of private liquidity token to U.S. credit union. Bank Social provides compliant crypto infrastructure and a private liquidity network for banks, credit unions, and fintechs. This is the world's first chain-agnostic bank-to-bank settlement using Hedera, Ripple, and Solana. So it's all three chains, which is awesome. Hedera is the main distributed ledger, DLT layer powering the Hashgraph group network. The new system lets institutions convert foreign currencies into U.S. digital dollars without traditional intermediaries. So it kind of takes Swift's job. Tokens can be redeemed at participating credit unions or banks, and it enables credit unions to join on global remittances and digital currency conversions. So that's awesome. So shout out to Ripple, Hedera, and Solana, but primarily Ripple. This is really, really awesome. And of course to Hashgraph. Now, this is from Mr. Nate. He posted it yesterday. He says 3 ETF issuers next week could be realistic time frame for spot Solana spot ETF approval. He says barring government shutdown, which can throw wrenches in the process. And the reason why we're talking about this story is because we've got multiple that XRP spot ETFs that are supposed to get approved. Well, we're supposed to get the answers for these between October 18th, 25th. Good morning, gorgeous Alexandra. But the thing is that with the government shutdown, these things could get delayed. So remember how we called for 2020 quarter four 2024 to be a really big month in crypto? We might not see it as a really big month in crypto because of all the shutdowns and everything that's happening. So let's hope that the blue and the red could get their stuff together. They could figure it out and do what's best in interest for the American taxpayers. That would be the best. That'd be the best. Also for Mr. James. Looks like Strategy Master will be eligible for S&P 500 index inclusion in December. So shout out to MicroStrategy. This is a pretty big thing. Pretty big thing. Let's get out of there. Okay. All right. Next on the docket, we talked about MicroStrategy over here. Now, a press release from Chairman Hill, Munzer, Wagner, Stein over concerns of SEC's IT failures highlight record-keeping loss of former Chair Gensler's text. So remember when Gary Gensler lost his text messages? Remember that? You guys remember? Well, it looks like they're going to be fighting against it to really kind of see what's going on. Because again, it sounds like Gary did something a little bit shady. So House Committee on Financial Services Chair French Hill and other GOP sent a letter to Paul Atkins regarding the SEC losing Gensler's text. So the Edgar system, I think that we talked about earlier about that not getting shut down for reporting. Oh, that's not getting shut down for reporting. It has nothing to do with the service that is provided to the SEC by a third party public, I believe, to make sure that they're not deleting their stuff, which is insane to me. Anyways, ID department failed to act on phone and activity alerts for 62 days, which is absurd. That's their job. And this is where our taxpayer dollars go. Possible special treatment for Gensler. Gensler's texts included communications related to crypto enforcement actions, and the reps call for further investigation and stronger oversight. And I agree. I 100% agree on this. Another thing that's happening today is the Senate hearing on crypto taxes as IRS offers reliefs on corporate taxes. Okay, so let's give you guys a quick summary of this because it was kind of ridiculous. And I also read what Ellie said about it or what she had reported on it. And it's kind of funny because they're saying that crypto mining is bad for climate change and it can impact taxes, like all this kind of ridiculous stuff. Yeah. I don't have time for people today. So let's go ahead and talk about the Senate corporate tax and what they want to do with crypto and all these things. So this actually happened today, which I was surprised they didn't completely cancel it, primarily because of the shutdown. But basically, there's new guidance from the IRS that offers tax relief to digital asset companies. This comes in response to the corporate alternative minimum tax, CAMPT. It's a 15% minimum tax on large corporations, financial statement income introduced under the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act. And the IRS guidance lets companies exclude unrealized gains and losses on digital assets from CAMPT income. Relief could save companies like Strategy billions in taxes. And the thing that's irritating to me about this is that I know that all these big companies like Strategy and whatnot, they actually go ahead and shout out to M. Shy Boy for becoming an O Army member. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much to Lawrence for the $10 super chat. I'm okay. I'm just like irritated right now because I'm getting cuckoo comments from TikTok and I'm late to go for my kids thing and the power went out. But it's quarter one of 2025, but I'm also irritated with the shutdown. So this is stupid. And the thing that pisses me off is that we do have all these big companies that do lobby and they pay money so they want to get a return on their investment, which I kind of feel like lobbying should be illegal to an extent, honestly. But the fact of the matter is that corporations like MicroStrategy, really, what do they do besides pay taxes and to an extent raise money out of thin air? And this is not just MicroStrategy, all of them. I mean, yeah, they do have some jobs and whatnot. But we need tax breaks for middle class, for tax paying Americans, not just the corporations. This is why I don't rock with corporate capitalism, but non-corporate capitalism. I about had it, Queen. I about had it. Yep, Flexa, lobbying equal bribing. That's what it is, and I think it's ridiculous. All right, let's see what else is on the docket today. Oh, the White House pulls Quintez's nomination to lead CFTC. And a lot of people are kind of pressed about it because he apparently there was opposition from major crypto investors, which followed the Winklevoss's publicly opposing Quintez, claimed he wasn't aligned with Trump's crypto agenda. He had strong support from both crypto and TradFi sectors before opposition emerged, and White House plans to nominate a new chair. This is interesting because, again, this just shows the power of lobbying, because the Winklevoss twins, they've donated quite a bit of money. So I don't know. It's kind of upsetting and annoying, but what can you do? Also, the White House does plan to nominate a new chair. And some really quick stuff about crypto.com. They were able to obtain the CFTC margin derivative license, which allows them to operate in North America to give cleared margin crypto and other asset derivatives. They're going to be offering leverage derivatives to U.S. retail users. That I want to learn more about. We'll cover it again when it gets a little bit closer, primarily because we want retail to be able to participate. And Swift announces new blockchain-based ledger with 30 plus banks, and it's developed with consensus. Over 30 global banks will be involved to focus. And we talked about this yesterday. I don't know why I had to put in again in the stream. Anyways, you guys, I need to go because I need to see my kid, because I need to go bring her lunch, even though I'm going to go. I had to drop her off this morning. She had a performance she wanted me to go to at 9, but I told her, I was like, you have to pick. Either mommy goes to lunch on the lawn or we do the mommy goes to performance. She wanted lunch on the lawn. And because she has an early day today. So with the early days, then I'm going to have to go back and leave at like 1:45. So I'm going to be at her school like 900,000 times today. 900,000 times. Anyways, I have to go, but I have a video coming out for you guys at 2 p.m. PT about midnight and their partnership with Google. So stick around for that. Shout out to Hedera. It's really, really big stuff. And sending you guys love and light. Thank you for putting up with me today. And I wish that it was a happy quarter four 2025 day because it's October 1st. But unfortunately, we have this ridiculous government shutdown happening because our public servants act like children. Bye, babies. Bye-bye.